Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle something that's, absolutely fundamental to web automation. How to handle those little checkboxes using Selenium WebDriver. It might seem basic, but trust me, getting this right is key to building really solid tests. All right, let's get right into it.
I mean, you've seen these things everywhere, right? On forms, settings pages, you name it. Checkboxes are how we select multiple things at once. But when you're writing code to test a website, how do you tell your script to find and click these specific boxes reliably every single time? Well, that's the exact puzzle we're going to solve today.
All right, first things first. Let's talk about the checkbox itself. It's just a common little widget on a web page that lets you pick one or, more often, multiple options from a list. Like choosing your pizza toppings or picking your hobbies on a profile page. Simple stuff.
But here's the key thing to get your head around when you're using Selenium. To your script, a checkbox isn't really a checkbox. It's just another element on the page defined by HTML code. Our entire job is to find that specific piece of code and then tell Selenium what to do with it.
Okay, so let's get our hands dirty. We're going to start with the most common scenario. You just need to find one specific checkbox on a page and click it. This is the building block for everything else we're going to do.
And you know what? It's a really simple three-step process that you'll use over and over again for all kinds of elements. First, you inspect the element to look at its code. Second, you find something unique about it, a locator. And third, you just tell Selenium to, click it.
All right, let's break down those first two steps. You just go to the page, right-click on the checkbox you care about, and hit Inspect. Your browser's developer tools will pop up showing you the HTML. You're basically on a treasure hunt for a unique identifier, something like an ID or a name that points to that checkbox and that one only.
And once you've told Selenium how to find it, here's where the magic happens. You just use the .click command. But the really cool thing about .click is that it's a toggle. If the box is unchecked, this command will check it. If it's already checked, the same command will uncheck it. Super handy, right? It keeps our code nice and simple.
Okay, so clicking one box, easy enough. But what happens when you need to deal with a whole bunch of them at once? Maybe you need to verify how many there are, or even click every single one on the page. For that, we need a slightly different strategy.
Right away, you can see that a unique ID isn't going to cut it, because we're not looking for just one, we want all of them. So the challenge changes from finding that one needle in the haystack to grabbing the entire bundle of needles all at once. So, how do we do that?
The trick is to find something they all have in common, like a shared fingerprint. Instead of a unique ID, we're looking for an attribute that every single checkbox on the page shares. And for checkboxes, that fingerprint is almost always the same. They're input tags that have a type of checkbox.
And this is the little piece of magic that gets it done. This is an XPath selector, and it's basically a command that says, hey, go find every single input tag on this page, but only give me the ones where the type attribute is checkbox. It's an incredibly powerful way to scoop them all up in one go.
Now this is super important. To use that XPath, we need a different command. Look closely. Find elements with an S at the end. Here's the deal. Find element, no S, looks for one thing. If it can't find it, it'll just blow up your script with an error. But find elements with the S is way more chill. It's designed to find groups. It gives you back a list. And if it finds nothing, it just gives you back an empty list. No drama, no crash. That's exactly what we want.
So once you have that list of all the checkboxes from Find Elements, figuring out how many there are is a piece of cake. You just call the .size method on that list, and it will tell you the total number it found.
And in the example we're looking at, what did it find? Boom. 3. Simple as that.
So you might be thinking, okay, neat, but why do I care? Well, think about this. Imagine your test needs to make sure a settings page always shows 5 different notification options. You can use this Find Elements and Size combo to instantly check if all 5 checkboxes are actually there. It makes your tests way more robust.
Okay, time for a pro tip. This one is super important and can save you a lot of headaches. Sometimes your test will fail for a really annoying reason. The checkbox it wants to click is off the bottom of the screen. Let's fix that.
You have to remember, Selenium tries to act like a real person. If you, as a human, would have to scroll down to see an element, then your script does too. Trying to click something that's below the fold is a classic way for a test to fail. So what's the fix? Simple. We have to tell our script to scroll down first.
And the tool for that job is something called the Actions class in Selenium. It's for handling more complex user interactions. The process is pretty easy. You create a new Actions object,
You tell it to move to element, pointing it at your hidden checkbox, and then you call .perform to make it actually happen. That little chain of commands tells the browser to scroll just enough to bring your element into view so it can be clicked.
All right, we have covered a ton of ground here, from clicking one little box, to finding all of them, to even dealing with scrolling. So let's do a quick recap with a handy checklist of the key commands you'll want to remember.
So let's just do a quick rundown. These are the key players. You've got click to do the actual, clicking. You use find element for one box and find elements for a whole group. Once you have a group, .size gives you the count. And if you can't see it, move to element is your best friend for scrolling it into view.
And there you have it. That's really the whole shebang when it comes to handling checkboxes in Selenium. You've got the tools now to click them, count them, and make sure they're visible. And this fundamental logic, find it, then do something with it, is the key to automating pretty much anything else on a web page. So the only question is, what are you going to automate next? Thanks for joining me on this explainer.